The patient presents with neurogenic inflammation, superior limbic keratoconjunctivitis, and gastritis.
Those are quite specific symptoms. It could be a rare condition related to the immune system.
I think we should consider a genetic disorder given the combination of symptoms.
What about an autoimmune response affecting multiple systems?
Maybe it's a metabolic issue causing inflammation throughout the body.
Enough. The correct diagnosis is IFIVA. We need to perform a rib removal immediately.
Rib removal? That's a risky procedure. There has to be another way.
Are you sure that's the right course of action, Hawks?
This could be a fatal decision. We should explore other options first.
I'm not comfortable proceeding with such a high-risk surgery without more evidence.
I don't give a damn about your opinions. This patient needs a rib removal now, and that's final. Prepare for surgery.
Hawks, why did you want to perform a rib removal on your patient? What is this IFIVA you mentioned?
I believe the patient has IFIVA, and rib removal might be the solution.
Where do you get such a stupid idea?
I read about it in a comic book. It's about a superhero doctor who saves his patients from the villain Liz Tracy.
A comic book? Hawks, this hospital does not experiment on patients based on comic book advice.
This was no ordinary comic book. It was quite prophetic. It predicted that one hot lady masquerading as the hero's boss would question his good deeds.
So it accurately predicts that this rib removal will cure the patient of IFIVA?
That, and the hero gets handsomely rewarded.
Do you know what you're talking about? It's not a disease. It's eukaryotic translation initiation factor 5A.
I know exactly who that is. She's featured on the centerfold of the comic book.
Centerfold? What kind of book is this?
The graphic kind.
Leslie, I just checked on the patient and her condition is critical.
Oh no, that's terrible news. What do you think we should do?
I think we need to inform Hawks that the rib removal was not the right treatment for E5A. He needs to know that the patient's life is at risk because of this mistake.
But, Frank, shouldn't our main focus be on the patient right now? We need to do everything we can to stabilize her condition before worrying about what Hawks will think.
You're right, Leslie. Let's make sure she gets the proper care first. We can deal with the consequences later.
Bloody fucking shit. You almost killed our patient with your incompetence?
We did our best, Hawks. We thought it was the right call at the time.
I still believe our initial diagnosis was on point. We just miscalculated the extent of the condition.
I admit we may have made a mistake, but we can fix it. We just need to come up with a new plan.
Let's not dwell on the past. Let's focus on moving forward and saving the patient.
Your best. It was a goddamn rib removal. There's about 24 of them to choose from, and somehow you chose a hip bone.
I can see how this happened. I thought you were referring to my rib sandwich I got from the cafeteria, so I deboned it.
What the hell, Gary? If you didn't operate on the patient, who did?
Randall and I, though I did most of the work. Randall was busy making up monologues to himself about how he wants Dr. Hawks to see him.
Randall doesn't do that. Or do I?
Fun fact, I can see you just fine, Randall. And I see an asshole in a white jacket trying to pass off his headphones as a stethoscope.
What were you listening to?
Hip!
Screw all of you. Put the hip bone back in the patient and then slam your heads into a wall at different intervals until one of you becomes smart enough to figure out why that is bad advice. So, how's everything going in your personal life, Johnson?
Oh, same old, trying to balance work and family. How about you? Any exciting medical cases?
Actually, yes. I've been working on this case that's been really puzzling me. I think I may have just figured it out.
Wow, really? That's great news, Hawks. What do you think it is?
I believe it's a rare genetic disorder that presents with atypical symptoms. I need to go check on something. Excuse me, Johnson.
Wait, Hawks, are you just gonna leave me hanging like that?
I'll explain later, Johnson. I need to confirm my diagnosis first. Sorry, catch you later.
Can I at least have your rib sandwich?
I'm in the middle of an emergency, running away from the cafeteria. Highly unlikely to return to it. What do you think my answer will be?
Yes?
Failure. Put it in the garbage like most prospects of your patients' lives past the 5-year mark. I have a new diagnosis. Tutis marmorata telangiectatica congenita.
Hawks, what are you doing? You can't just barge in here without the proper gear.
This is unacceptable, Hawks. You're putting everyone at risk.
F5 was leading us in the wrong direction. This is the real diagnosis.
Cutis marmorata telangiectatica congenita. What's the prognosis?
Prognosis for KIMC is generally good, with most cases resolving on their own over time.
Interesting. We'll need to run some tests to confirm your diagnosis, Hawks.
No need. Trust me on this one. The prognosis is clear.
Hawks, you can't make such bold claims without evidence. We need to follow protocol.
Fine. Would you like to learn about it in picture book form? Or would you like to upgrade to graphic novel in the rare event any of you know your IDCs?
Hey, that's what Randall's listening to right now.
Randall, this is your one and only warning to throw away those godforsaken headphones and start looking like a real doctor. You can learn how to work like one tomorrow. Tracy, I finally figured out the right diagnosis for the patient.
Congratulations, Hawks. That was a tough one.
It wouldn't have been so tough if I didn't have to deal with such idiotic doctors around here.
What do you mean by that? You were the one who initially declared the wrong diagnosis.
Well, perhaps my diagnostics team could have caught it earlier if they were more competent.
Hawks, you can't shift the blame like that. You made the wrong call.
It's not my fault they flunked the first grade and can't read comic books.
For the love of God, what is it with you?
You should have listened to me. That comic book could have inspired us to save the patient sooner. You blocked me at so many angles that Deadpool couldn't find a fourth wall to break.
So you can't rely on comic books for real medical decisions.
I've had enough of this. I'm out of here.